Thank you so much for staying with us. It is my favorite segment of the show where we get to talk about all the buzz that happened on the social media over the weekend. It was really, really like a gist-filled weekend, you know, stemming from social media with Bobrisky and then Hakimi trending. And it's like a gender war this weekend because women and men are on different sides deciding whether what Hakimi did was right or wrong. But these are the conversations we'll be having on this segment. We call it the social media buzz. And we have Deborah Eze to have this conversation with us.
Thank you so much, Chichi, for that.
Hello, Deborah.
Hi.
Looking all glowing, yellow, and the blue shades. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
So tell us, what's buzzing?
Well, we all know it's a new week, another round of social media boa, and we had the feel of it Friday. Twitter was on fire. And we go straight to Friday's viral post on Twitter, and that was footballer Achraf Hakimi's wife, who filed for divorce and demanded half of his property. She was, however, informed by the court that her millionaire husband owns nothing, as all his property is registered under his mother's name. Hakimi received £1 million from PSG monthly, but 80% of that is deposited in his mother's, Mrs. Fatima's, account. He has no property, cars, houses, jewelry, or even clothes in his name. His mother buys it for him. His mother buys whatever he needs for him. Now, let's look at interesting reactions from Twitter. Here we have Funshaw. Now, Funshaw said, everyone is blaming Achraf Hakimi's wife, not the European culture that allows it. It's European culture that makes women share half of their husband's wealth. It is not totally the woman's fault. The same way African culture favors men in marriage than women, life isn't fair everywhere. Now we have Ololade's son. Hakimi mama and your mama no be the same. Your own mama fit carry your money run. Okay. Just the same. Now we look at the third reaction. Hakimi, hello mommy, please help me do $400K to Icebox. Send screenshots if you don't do them. Hakimi to Icebox, write my mom's name, my mama name for receipt, I beg. Then finally, Hakimi, you bought a new bowl. It's my mommy that bought it for me. So now, let me ask straight to Mobolanle, do you think it is actually fair for Hakimi's wife to have asked for half of his property?
Okay, I didn't see that coming because I thought you were going to come from the dimension of, is it fair for him to name his property in his mother's name?
No, we're going to get to that.
Because I know you have been fighting vehemently for that. But when you talk about the fact that she asked for half of his property, there's a law in place, which of course doesn't totally negate that. Yeah. We saw what happened with Jeff Bezos. That's the CEO of Amazon. His wife demanded half of his property and she got it. That's because, of course, she had access to it and he didn't see it. He's a billionaire and so it wasn't a big deal for him. Yeah. Now, coming to the fact that he already named all of the... You don't want us to talk about that yet.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's just talk about it.
So, I'm going to come from the angle of the fact that there's a breach of trust somewhere for him as the husband to have named or to have, titled all of his documents after his mother. It means that some way, somehow, he doesn't trust her. She probably had been exhibiting some signs or some, some characters that already made him feel, this woman, one day she will just jump out with all of my money. And then he just said the wise thing to do right now is to give everything, although maybe a bit extreme. Yeah.
What if he's being controlled by his mother? Because from what I read, it seems it has been like that from the onset.
He gives her his salary and all of that. Well, there's this thing of some men being tied to their mother's apron strings, mommy's boy and all of that. I know that narrative. But then in the end, no matter how tied you are to your mom's apron strings, this is a woman you claim to love, a woman you spent 3 years in marriage. Before that, you've been friends with. I want to believe that to an extent, you know that she deserves much more than just being there, a baby making machine, or just being there in the other room. You want to entrust your life to her. And so from the day you said I do, it shouldn't come as a negotiable, fact or a negotiable talk. Naming your property, in fact, buying her stuff, giving her all of those things. It shouldn't be difficult. That's why I said there must have been a breach of trust somewhere.
Yeah. Well, Uche, what do you have to say?
Okay, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a whole lot, and I agree with Bolanle. With the breach of trust thing. I mean, first of all, as a man, you dated this girl, right? Even if it's for the shortest amount of time, you dated her long enough to be able to decide to marry her.
Yeah.
So if you didn't trust her enough, why did you marry her? First question. Secondly, my point is, I don't think there is any religion anywhere around the world that says after you get married, remain in such tandem relationship with your mom, whether you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're a Buddhist, or traditionalist.
There's none that says you shouldn't too.
The moment you get married,
there's none that said you shouldn't. Says you shouldn't too.
Oh, the Bible says a man will leave his mother and his father, and he will cleave to his wife.
Yes, that the Igbo are coming from.
The Igbo tradition,
a religious
the Igbo tradition makes it that the moment a man gets married, his family, the most they can do for you is to build you your own obi.
Yeah.
That is your own house.
Yeah.
You carry your wife and you go there. Whatever people are doing is your business. And I can.
These are not Nigerians. Don't forget.
No, I'm just saying. Okay. I can make bold to say that in most traditions across the world, it is the same. In most traditions across the world. Okay, but let us assume our traditions are not the same. So, you went to this person's father's house and you took her. By the time you were
why I would actually disagree with you on that point is the fact that
please, can I land?
Our tradition.
Can I land? No, I will land because I let you finish. You will let me finish. You will let me finish because I let you finish.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Just a minute. Now you are talking about tradition. Abroad,
I am not.
All of the things obtainable.
That's why I said let me finish.
Abroad,
I was making a stretch of points. That was what I said. So if you get to a point where when you are married to somebody, you people are not just married and decided you're not going to have children. You're just going to be flexing your life. You put this woman through the stress of labor. She had children for you. It's no longer about you. It's not even about her anymore. You have children with this person. Even if she had bad attitude or bad character that made you lose trust, what about the children she had for you? Well, how do you go and make such decisions and you didn't consider? And if we're going to have enough time to talk about this, even the woman is not free of blames. Because how do you go and marry somebody who is 12 years younger than you? What were you thinking?
That's where I was coming. Yeah, that's where I was coming from. Place of tradition.
You fall in love with.
Exactly.
How you fall in love.
No, because it comes to that point where people begin to, what's the word now? Yeah, trust issues begin to come in because on a very regular note, before you get married to somebody, you people should get to a point. And somebody even said on social media that marriage is business these days.
Of course.
So you're looking out for, which is I find very appalling because in the first place, why are you making it business?
Okay,
in the first place.
Okay, let's move on to the
that
next
may
story.
be the popular opinion, but it doesn't mean that's what's obtainable everywhere.
It's more of the negative out there. There are still lots of beautiful marriages that's actually not
so that's why I said the fact that over here we believe that you have put the woman through the stress of labor. I don't agree with that. You have she has children for you and all of that. You married someone younger than you. All of that are not obtainable out there because you're a woman. You made your choice. You went into the marriage wide-eyed, open. Nobody forced you into it.
Okay, but
so you should be able.
Did anybody force Hakimi to marry the woman?
And that's why he chose to put his mother's name on his property. It's his choice.
I'm having my own set of Twitter here, right? So let's move on to the next story. The next story is our mommy of Lagos. So media personality Toke Makinwa has reacted to Bobrisky's revelation about our extravagant lifestyle. Toke Makinwa was amazed by the fascinating information Bobrisky revealed during his or her appearance together on our program. Bobrisky recently made a surprising revelation regarding his fashion sense. He noted his love for wigs and jewelries. According to Bobrisky, he cannot accurately determine the quantity of wigs he owns. Nevertheless, Toke Makinwa persuaded him to estimate the number, and he disclosed that he possesses more than 700 wigs at his residence. Bobrisky stated that he changes his jewelry every 6 months when he becomes bored with them and spends more than 40 million naira on this. He said, and I quote, "I love jewelries a lot. In fact, it is my #1 on my list," end of quote. Before we take a glimpse of Twitter reaction, is it me or I think he added more zero? Because you know what 700 weeks is? 700.
We should bear in mind that when Toke posted that video, it's a vlog, by the way,
Yeah, sure.
Toke Moment, she highlighted a point that there were a lot of lambas in this video. So I took it with a pinch of salt,
Really?
right? Yeah, because she already stated it there that there were a lot of lambas on this video, and so imagine this jewelry. I bought it.
And knowing Mommy of Lagos, knowing Mommy of Lagos for all the controversies he has been, whatever, in social media, right? Buying a house and never launching it, even after promising us a house for party and all that. So you would usually easily just take whatever he says with a pinch of salt. So I'm not even surprised. 700 weeks, really? You want to push up?
Well, it's not out of place. Like, it's not impossible to have 700 weeks.
It's totally
actually
impossible. I disagree with that.
You say it's impossible.
700 weeks.
If you're a social media influencer, for instance, most of these brands, yes,
they don't
most of these
give
brands,
They give you
some of them do.
No, they don't dash
Some of
it
them
off.
do.
Even
They
like,
do, especially if you run ads for them, and maybe you have to maybe they don't pay you. Some of them don't pay you. Instead of paying you,
They give you their product. In some cases,
so that's why I
nobody
said,
will give Bobrisky
Right.
Mommy of Lagos. Mommy of
he's
Lagos.
an influencer.
Oh my
so
goodness.
it's
Bad
not-
market
it's not
strategy. You
impossible.
will not see your goods. You will not see hearts.
well, let's see what the reactions on Twitter.
Okay,
is.
reactions on Twitter. We have Big Chi. Big Chi says, "Did you all see Bobrisky's face on that interview with Toke?" Big Chi, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see that. And the next one, Lady April. Nah, Toke really tried with her composure in this interview. I would have ugly laughed. Okay, and the next tweet, Omotola. Toke's reaction to watching Bob's throw all the lies. Love it. Love a continuous after every lie Bob is dropping. And the last tweet, Bob is a dirty bloody liar. I don't know. Even Toke doesn't have 700 weeks. So you see what I'm saying? Because 700 weeks.
So people going out there to outrightly say
it's
you
not
don't
possible.
have it. It's not possible.
Because even if you started wearing wigs from the first day you came into Earth, you cannot wear 700 weeks. Do we have more than Bone Street? Peruvian.
It's not about the brands now.
No, it's
about the occasions you want to wear them for, the kind of shoots, the kind of maybe it's kits you want to do.
How many colors do we have?
It's not about the colors too. You could have all.
How many bob wigs? How many double drums? How many?
You guys are not
streets?
getting it. It's not about the variety.
Okay.
It's about the purpose you're wearing them for.
No,
It's
I
about.
think he was talking about. He has 700 wigs in his house. I think that's where.
Yeah, so it doesn't specify if they are all bobs or if they're all bone straight or if they're all black. It's not about the color.
Actually, Bob will really so proud right now.
Let's get to the next story.
Okay, now the next story. Nigeria actor, director, and movie producer Prince Jide Kosoko has reacted to issues surrounding the movie Gangs of Lagos, wherein the revered Eyo masquerade was depicted as a tool for criminal activities, especially murder. The depiction of the Eyo in the movie has drawn the ire of the custodian of Eyo masquerade in Lagos, the Lagos state government, and concerned indigents of the state, who are condemned what they called bastardization of the revered culture of the people of Lagos. Jide Kosoko said, and I quote, "I find the issue surrounding the movie sad, not because of lack of technical quality, but for the desecration of the culture of the good people of Lagos." Now let's take a look at what people had to say on social media concerning that story. So we have Penfold. Penfold said, "By that logic, churches, babalawos, and Islamic clerics should have been suing movie producers, Tete." And the next tweet, Ibrahim said, "The reason we haven't seen more people suing is because of how religion is so hot button for us. when Jide Kosoko did one movie in the 90s, there was a lot of pushback on the title of the movie. Muslim clerics regarded it as inflammatory. He backed down and changed the title. And the next tweet says, from Lola says, I will never forget the day I commented on Jide Kosoko's Instagram that I was disappointed in him for backing Tinubu. That man replied, good. Okay, Balale, what do you think concerning
So he
Jide Kosoko?
says that they desecrated. He's not the first person saying that, actually. And I think that because of the ethics of the practice, sometimes they have some license, like they have the liberty to do some things. For instance, there are some things that they depict in movies that are not exactly the way they are in reality. So I think to that extent, they might be cut some slack. I've not seen the movie. I actually almost watched it over the weekend. And but he's saying that they portrayed the Eyo as a committing murder and all of that. And being a Yoruba girl myself, and the fact that he's coming from the traditional angle, perhaps he has a point, but I'm also looking at it from the ethical or the part where movie producers have some form of license. For instance, you'd watch movies like, what's this heist movie? Money heist movie.
Yeah,
they painted
the
They painted the criminals as they go to such a. You watch the movies and you begin to love crime.
Yeah.
Now that's not totally right. Yeah, but to an extent, it serves as entertainment, and as long as it meets the purpose of the movie, I don't think it's totally wrong.
Okay,
all right. I'm so sorry, Debbie, but we really need to wrap up this segment. Personally, I think Gangs of Lagos is a great movie, and if you haven't seen it, it's a good time to go and watch, and you know, drop your own comments on social media. Do not forget that you can follow iBrand via all our social media platforms on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and of course we are on YouTube.